Yo,
Mine working. Testing.
there you go. But they got the ball. We just push it up the court. And then when Trey Williams, I seen him pass the ball to me. I seen I had the lane. I've been missing the shot all game long, and I was getting frustrated. So I know I had to make it up for my teammate.
So you wanted to call a timeout?
Yeah, yeah. The ball was already advanced, and Trey Williams held the ball for a minute, so I know I had to get a shot up before the buzzer went off.
Kevin, what's it been like for you just being able to come back with your teammates? Obviously, been through a lot, but being able to be back with these guys and be able to make everything fun.
Yeah, the team helped me out a lot because I've been kind of down on myself trying to get back in rhythm from the surgery. So just being around them and bonding with them, it may get me back along. And I feel like in the next couple of games, I should be back to full strength.
I've seen only 6 turnovers in the entire game.
Yeah, yeah. Just in practice, we just preach taking care of the ball and being unselfish. So with the 22 assists and 6 turnovers, I feel like that was a big win for our team tonight.
Yeah, one thing you guys were doing pretty effectively in the offensive end was your ball fakes, your up fakes. You were getting them to bite on a lot of that, and that seemed to create space not only for shots but also for penetration and kick. Is that something you felt like you had going into this game that they would bite a lot on ball fakes?
Yeah. So coach was enforcing that we should use ball fakes through the zone. So when we use those, they seem to be pretty effective. So we tend to harp on them. They tend to harp on them for us to use, so we can dissect and get the zone off balance, so we can shift them and get to where we want to get in that zone.
And defensively, they seemed like when they were rotating the ball, they made a step behind as a team trying to find the shooters. How difficult was it to track down the shooters? And when you did get the shooters down, how much nicer was the offense to find these scores?
Yeah, as you guys have saw, it was a lot easier when we figured out and set our defense to getting through transition and figuring out who were the shooters and who were hitting and who was the hot hand. So when we figured that out, things eased up and we locked in and settled in more to be in gaps for each other.
Kevin, there's 9 guys listed here, and I think 7 of them, only 7 of you guys weren't with the team last year. What's it been like trying to come together? You guys from the ball different parts of the town.
To be honest, it's been real easy for us because like we don't have no selfish people, we don't have no cancers on the team. So just bonding together every day on and off the court, it's been real helpful and making an easy transition for us.
JJ, I want to go back to that last play. As you were starting to push up the floor, were you looking for the shot first? Were you looking to pass it to someone specific? Like, what was kind of going through your mind when you went those runs there in the corner?
I was really going to take whatever they gave me, but I knew that there was a lot of time left, so I just tried to stay patient and try to get a shot for someone else first off. Then I knew that if I got it out of my hands, it would come back full circle, or someone else like Ted would make a play, and that's what he did.
And then David tonight, just having his breakout game and having a chance to start some loud dunks. Just how much does it feel like a confidence booster in a game like this for him?
It should be a huge confidence booster for him because it definitely was for me. Just playing alongside him. Dave has that energy all the time, man, in practice, and he really agile and can really bounce playing in the game. So and practices. So him just being him and continue to just do the little things, stay mentally sharp and buying into what the coaches are telling him. Dave's gonna be fine and really good for us.
Maybe how'd you end up with Duquesne? Long story.
Ah, not really a long story, man. I think I belong here. I should have been here, but just the coaching staff, the loyalty, the campus, the all the boxes that were checked for me before I came here. The relationship with the coaches, we've been familiar with each other while I was coming out of high school my senior year. So just that and just building that relationship when I re-entered the transfer portal again. Well, first.
It was really having faith in the coaches. It was Coach D telling me that he wants to prove himself too, and I've been trying to prove myself ever since I was born because I'm a small guard. So just coming here and just having faith in Coach, and me and him really connected well on and off the court. And then with the twins, they was talking to me a lot, so it just gave me a family feel. So I felt like it was right to come here. Yeah. Um, I feel like with the injuries, we've been fighting a lot of adversity, and it's just showing us that as a team that we can fight through adversity. So just seeing guys step up when people's injured, it's a real big confidence booster for us.
To that point, Bronski and Griff, two guys who took some of your minutes when you were unable to play in Montana, and now they take some of the minutes at the four spot when everybody else was moved around because of the injuries up front. And that's some pretty decent versatility, especially when Griff showed off some of his passing ability, some of those pocket passes, didn't he?
Heck yeah. You got it, man. They
Yeah,
showcase.
just them being both like 6'5", 6'6", versatile wings, we can play them in multiple positions, so it kind of help us out when people get injured a lot.
Yeah, they're quick learners, man. They're young, but they're quick learners, and they're advanced for their grade, I would say, or age. So they just got to keep working. They're gonna be fine and great for us as well. Man, Q just got to keep a level head, man. Q is fine. He's straight. Q can do a lot of things that he doesn't even know he can do. Like, he could be a versatile two-way player if he really wants to. Q has the offensive end. He has defensive tendencies as well. So he just has to keep grinding. But it's just exciting to see those young guys get out here, go through adversity, go through all this crazy stuff that some people would say or that they would say as a young player, and just see them strive through it. It's just a blessing to have them on your team at the end of the day.
What's the mindset for you guys throughout the game going up against a team that seemingly just couldn't miss throughout the night? Was there ever a point like, okay, this might be it, or were you always confident that you'd be able to beat them even if it had to be a shootout?
Yeah, we just come in the game focusing on our game plan. We don't really try to like minimize or say which this team is or how we're going to go out here and play. But when we do say that, it's setting the bar high and our standards high to come out and try to whoop our opponent and just put the force on them. But that's a really good team, man. And they came out and they showed us some things that we weren't prepared for at first, but we got to go back to the drawing board and continue to work, grind, and practice and work on those things that we got to sharpen up. But overall, good game and got that win, man.
Thank you. All right, man. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you, guys.
Thank you.
experienced team. I knew it was going to be a tough game. They shot it really well tonight. They haven't shot the ball well all year, but they shot it well tonight. And when we didn't guard great, but they made. And so it was a tough game for us. I felt like we were a little depleted, but we also didn't have a great legs for whatever reason. It might have been the trip, but we just didn't quite have it. But we hung in there enough to win the game. I know we're beat up. I mean, I think we have good resiliency. We have good leadership. Like about everything that could go wrong went wrong, and we still hung in there. I thought Day, didn't shoot the ball particularly well in the first half, but rallied himself and shot the ball and kept us in it in the second half. I thought Brewer, and rightfully so, didn't really have it tonight. He struggled, but he made the game winner. Dixon did some good things, but he did some inexperienced things. So, I think that's the biggest difference is when Reese and RJ play, that makes you older. And the more you can be old, the better you are. And, we had to play young tonight at times, which is not usually a good thing. But our young guys did a good job. But there's a reason guys are old. It's a little too early to tell. So we still have some imaging we got to do on a couple. So it's a little early. We haven't had any time to tinker with anything, Zach. Like, we played what, Monday, then we played Friday, and then we played Monday again, and we're gonna play Wednesday again. So that's the first zone we've seen. So we struggled early with that, and then we were fine after a minute. They only played about 6 possessions of zone all year. We prepped for it, but I really didn't expect the whole game of it. So we really haven't tinkered much. I mean, those are the kind of games you have to win in a season. To have a good season, you have to win some games when you're not great. But again, I thought they played really well. We weren't great, but they played really well. We have to play better defensively than that. Well, obviously it's a combination of both. I mean, they made some, but we made a lot of mistakes. And then Trey Clark had foul trouble, which didn't help us either. Which he's got to stay away a little bit from like those little reaches. It's hard because he's one of the best stealers in the country. So like you don't want to take it away from him. But I told him, look, steal any pass you want, but lay off the dribble a little bit. He had 4 steals again tonight. And if you look at his numbers when he was at VCU, he stole the ball like a crazy man. As a team, yeah, 22 assists. So like we've done a really good job of sharing the ball. Yeah, they care. They do a good job. I mean, we just had to play better defensively. We should have lost the game really, but we hung in there enough to win the game. Well, I think the biggest thing is we weren't happy after Kentucky. We didn't think we shared the ball well, and we took some bad shots. So we really hit them hard on that, and I think ever since then we've done a really good job. Now, we took a couple long threes, I thought, in the first half, but you also have to look at that a little bit too. So that's Day Grant shooting most of them. So you tell him not to shoot them. I mean, I think he was shooting over 50% from the 3 line, right? So you don't want to take that away from him necessarily either. So they've done a good job of listening and trying to get better. just try to stop their run. Really, like I don't really remember what I said. I probably wasn't very nice. So beep beep beep. I don't know. Bleep bleep bleep. Well, I mean, you mean Tevin wasn't available for Montana? Yeah. So, we've had to move those guys around because we've had issues. We played them at the point, and tonight we played Haransky at the four, some because we just don't have anybody. So it's a little bit hard. I mean, we played Trey Williams a lot of minutes tonight because we don't really have another four man. So it's not ideal. That's one reason you don't play great defensively. You're playing a little tired. And then Day Grant had to play too many minutes because Clark was in foul trouble. And then we played from behind most of the night too, so it's a combination of factors. We actually have three guys hurt and one suspended. Barre's hurt as well. So, we went into this thing with 7 bigs. We have 3 right now. So, I mean, obviously it's going to affect you. I mean, but we still have enough to win there. We still have good players in those spots. And the good thing is Dixon got to play. So down the line, that's going to help him become a better player. He's a good talent. You just got to get a little bit, just more mature and a little more solid. He's a talented guy, man. Like he can run and jump and he shoots the ball. He just has to figure it all out. Like it's this level is all new to him. But he was recruited at a high level before he tore his ACL. So he certainly is a high major talent, right? Athletically, he's gifted. He just has to figure this out. And the more he plays, the more he'll figure it out. Or I'll, you know, have. Well, I mean, he was recruited out of high school. He was offered by Ole Miss and all of those. He probably had 15 high majors out of high school before he tore his ACL, and then they kind of dumped him. So. I try to like all my teams, but I like this team. I like their resiliency. I like their leadership. Like Kareem Rozier says to me after the game, he said, "That's my bad. We didn't practice well, and that's all on me." Like, you don't get that very often. But that's the kind of leader he is. And I think they get along. I think which always helps you win. Like if you don't get along, eventually you're gonna lose some of those close games. Well, as soon as he can come back without those other 2 guys, he'd play. He'd probably play a little bigger, because basically he's a center. Like we want to move Dixon to the 4 spot, but we're trying to keep it simple for him. And until we get healthier, then there's no sense in moving him. And I think the bigger we can play, the better we're going to be, because we're playing those 3 perimeter guys that are relatively small.
What do you think? How do you feel about how your team has responded the past 2 days when it comes to adversity, when things not going your way, and not sort of buckling?
I think they've done a good job, really. I mean, they could have buckled. They had us on the ropes a couple times, more than a couple. Colgate came all the way back, on the first round, and we got it back up to 15. Um, I think the one thing we do is we have enough pop, shooting the ball to come back, and we I don't know what we shot tonight from 3, not as good, right? 35%, but That's about as bad as we've shot from the 3 line, but they ran us off the 3 line pretty good. But 35 is better than we shot probably since I've been here. But that's a little low. We've been shooting about what 38.6 or something like that before. So I like our resiliency. I think we just have to learn. We have to get better at the little nuances. Yeah, I like our team. I mean, I'd be more encouraged if we got a little healthier, because then we can play a little faster. We can play a little bit more full court pressure. You know, we can utilize our depth. I felt like it was even depth wise today. Right? I didn't think we had any advantage because they, like you said, they're old too, but we weren't really old. Like we got some of our older guys hurt, so you know, I just think that has affected us a little bit. But no excuses. We have enough to win with what we have in the room. And that's, remember I told you there were 3 things I tried to do recruiting wise. 1, have enough depth to withstand injuries. 2 was improve our passing and shooting, right? And 3 was get older in the backcourt. So we're getting tested on the depth right now, but I think, you know, most people that had as many of our guys out as we did would have issues. But we at least held our own. Rotrov's become a really good offensive rebounder. Like he just stands under there and wedges out, and I mean his rebounds per minute have been unbelievable this year. Like he got 5 more tonight. Like you gotta hand it to the guy. The last 2 years he's done an unbelievable job. And you know, when you go inside, you have a chance to get those offensive rebounds too. So we've done a good job on the offensive glass. I don't think that's an issue for us. I think there's some other things that are more telling issues. It's, do we stress it? I think you can say that as a coach, but in reality, you just have some guys that are good at it. It's like Dennis Rodman. You think I don't think Chuck Daly, you know, told Dennis, look, taught him the technique of offensive rebounding. He just went and got them all, you know. And I think that's kind of what Rotrop's doing right now. I mean, you get 5, that's a lot. No, he's still, you know, he didn't start practicing until September the 7th. So we have to be careful with him. He, you know, he had a tough injury, you know, the surgery. So he played what did he play tonight? 18 and a half. He, you know, he's going to play 20, 22, depending on our injury situation. He'll have to play a little more. And I don't think he's in that type of condition to play much more than that right now. But he's done a really good job. He should be really proud with all the things that he's been through. His perseverance is second to none. He had foot surgery, he had the ACL before that. You know, he's had a lot of different things. So I'm proud of him. He's great for our team. Just felt like, you know, look, we got good guards. You know, what if you call timeout? You don't know if you're getting zone, you're getting man. You know, I just felt like on the run we were better off, and we've done that the last couple of years. Um, just have 2 old guards, 3 really with Trey Clark. So why not? They're gonna make the right play. They obviously, when you get 22 assists, they're gonna try to make the right play. Now, I liked what he did. He took that little runner close. It was a pretty easy shot. Tough shot, but easy shot for him. Not really. He'll be back, but not for a minute. Yes. You could ask as many as you want. think he's played pretty good defensively overall. You know, for never having to done it, he's never done it in his whole college career. He's guarded in the post. I will say it probably affected his shot blocking because he's not around the rim as much, and he's running around more. But I think he's got a big advantage offensively with a smaller 4-man on him than a big monstrous 5-man. And so we tried to utilize that a little bit. So I think he's done a good job. I do think the mix of RJ and Easley with him is a good mix because those guys are more stretch out guys. So I think like tonight, like RJ being out there against the zone would have really helped us because we would have been able to shoot it at 4 spots, whereas we had to go pretty much shooting it at 3 spots. So I think that affected us a little bit. But that's what you have to do, right? You have to adjust. Dixon could shoot the ball too. He hasn't yet. It might take him a year. But I think eventually he'll be able to stretch out and shoot it.
Part of the overall plan is obviously taking a lot of the shots this year, and it doesn't feel like they have been any forced from Grant when he's on a roll. You rarely see him take any kind of contested shots that he probably would have. It's obviously with the assist rate high up there, but also just the shot selection. Is that something you're happy overall on the offensive end of things?
Yeah, I mean, look, Day got on a roll, right? And he still had 6 assists. So that's a tribute to him. But I think part of it is the point guard. We have 2 point guards that are going to pass the ball. Rozier, I think, is 9-1 assist to turnover, and Tevin Brewer is, I think he came in at 12-3 or something coming in. I think so. He's 15-5. Like, if your point guards are going to do that, you have a chance because that rubs off on everybody else. So, like, even against the zone, we just had to play. Like, there wasn't any structure to it. We were just playing. And that's kind of how we played offensively most of the year. There's a little structure, but not much. We're just playing, and I think the best teams just play. So I haven't watched them because I always go one game at a time. So I don't know anything about him really, other than I know the coach's son is a good player. And also he was a good coach at South Carolina State. So I would expect that they will improve. Look, it's going to be hard for us. We just have to keep grinding and winning. It doesn't really matter who we play. We just have to do the same things every night. So will we be better if we take good care of ourselves tonight, and then we'll bring them in tomorrow afternoon and probably not do too much, but just try to regenerate a little bit, and then try to get ready for Wednesday. And then after that, we get a little time, which will be important for us. So we just have to keep winning. But I expect it'll be a hard game. Like, things have changed quickly for us. So, like, we're going to have to grind it out the hard way right now. But I still think we should win. We're good enough to win with what we have. Good? All right. Appreciate you guys.